Shalom, fallen and sure. Welcome back to the channel. Do you know the difference between control and order? If you don't, I would suggest that you get an understanding on the two words. But there's a movement going. I'm not sure if it's a movement, but it's a saying that, I've heard from brothers in this faith. And now it seems that, maybe they got it from, but in self-sufficiency and that movement, people are saying to, be ungovernable. And I really like that. That's something that I've lived for a large majority of my life, is the idea of not letting people who aren't supposed to have control you. I've always believed that, Yah has an order in his book. And it's Yah, Yeshua, husband, wife, children. And one of the stabilizing factors of Yah's order is destroying the family, which is why Satan has put in so much effort into destroying the family. Destroying children at an early age. You got these he, she, they, thems. You got stories where mothers are taking their children to different states to get, sex reassessment or whatever that stuff is called, and trying to get doctors to write diagnoses that their children are confused, what gender they are, and that they should be allowed to switch their gender. There was a story of a mother taking her I think it was her boyfriend's son, to California to get gender reassessment. Confusion. I want to read what this word govern is. This word govern is to control the actions or behavior of, to keep under control, to exercise a deciding or determining influence on. So government, somebody else who is governing you, they're going to exercise a deciding or determining influence on you. They're going to make your decisions. That's what it means. See, Yah has an order, and he has a governance, and it's in the Bible. You can read it. Let me tell you, Yah did not place or create any sort of governance where your pastor has authority over your house brother, or your elders have the authority over your house brother. He had laws. In his law, he has trespassing laws. What do you think they're there for? You cannot move another man's landmark. You don't go into another man's house and start dictating in his house how he's going to live and what he's going to do. We have government, big government, that does that today. But I like the idea of being ungovernable. I love the idea. First of all, I'm ungovernable to these world systems. I am completely governed, controlled, and ordered by Yah in his ways. But in this, as far as the system goes, I have strived to not be governable since I can remember. I was born into it, literally. How my parents were and how they raised me. And it's so sad today to see the amount of people that they don't mind being governed by systems outside of the systems that Yah instituted. You have big government now, trying to govern you to death, controlling you. If they control, think about this, if they can control the actions or behavior of, they are controlling you. If they can control your behavior, if they can control, exercise a deciding or determining influence on, they have complete control over you. This is why, I read this book, the Bible, and it says, come out of her, my people. And why aren't people coming out? Why are not people breaking free from the systems that have these behaviors that were taught to them by governing bodies? I mean, literally, they have governed, I believe, in being ungovernable. I believe in separating yourself from this system. And I'm talking about in all the ways you possibly can. Food, financial, obviously it takes time. These things take time, but you're seeing a system, you're seeing a governance fall apart. You're seeing a system fall apart right before your eyes. Whether it's intentional or unintentional, I believe it's intentional. You're watching it fall. And how many people are going to simply fall with it because they are controlled by it? How many people, as the ship is sinking, are are going to find themselves on the bottom of the ship, unable to even get to the top of the ship to get on a life raft. Think of the movie Titanic. Where they locked some of the the poor on the bottom of the ships, and the elite got on the boats, and they could have packed the boats and allowed more people on, but nah, it was for the elite. The elite hop on their boats and they rode off, and they locked everybody else in the bottom to die. And what do you think is happening today? Literally, people are being locked on the bottom of the ship. They never will be able to reach the top to hop onto a lifeboat, because they controlled your behavior. They controlled and determined what your influences were. They have influence on your decisions, and they have decided that they're going to teach you and manipulate you and deceive you into believing that everything's going to be okay. Everything's going to be okay. So you're sacrificing your family, you're sacrificing your well-being, you're sacrificing your future on the idea that these people who have controlled you, and if you've seen, I don't know if you've ever walked around society, but does it seem to be going well? Does it seem that they were good stewards of their governance? No. I want Yah, and have decided that Yah is going to be my master. He's going to be the one. So that means that I'm going to have to be ungovernable to a large majority of everybody else. And they'll call you rebellious. They'll call you rebellious in the church. They'll call you rebellious. They'll call you this, that, and the other in the church. They'll call that you in society. Meanwhile, you're watching the people that have been controlled and governed by society. Look at Chicago. Look at Chicago. Look at these major metropolitan. Look how they're falling apart. These are all places that were under the control of these people. You're seeing people's faith be disturbed just because you see your pastor and your pastor smiling and telling you about how great he is. Do you know how many people he has destroyed? Whose stories you don't know? They were swept underneath the rug? Well, they wouldn't do that. They don't sweep things underneath the rug. Well, then please tell me how T.D. Jakes is. I'm just saying. We got the whole story with T.D. Jakes and P. Diddy and the whole rap industry, where closet homosexuality and straight up debauchery and Sodom and Gomorrah type shit's been happening. Dudes banging each other's wives, dudes banging each other, dudes having 3, 4, 5 sons with nothing but dudes, and somebody's wife is in the middle. This is the stuff that's happening. And see, we all pretend like we don't see it, because that's our favorite, as our favorite rapper, as our favorite R&B singer, that's our favorite this, our favorite that. This stuff's happening right in front of our faces, but people are being destroyed by these churches. And just because you don't hear their story, because these people left the faith, they have turned away from Yah and his perfect way because somebody destroyed their faith. These people were babes in the faith and had their faith destroyed. See, don't allow yourself to be governed by the society, by your church. Yah has an order. Yah, Yeshua, husband, wife, children. It doesn't matter if the system came in and said, well, the Roman system, we're going to allow no-fault divorce. Wives, you can divorce your husbands. You read the book. That wasn't the way it was. Rome created the divorce, where women could leave. By divorce, they created the women can leave their men. Paul even came out and said, why you can't separate yourselves from your husband. And if you do, you have 2 choices: remain unmarried or reconcile back to him. He didn't even say you could divorce him. But see, when they attack the family, they attack order. And by the continual breakup of the family, that gives more and more and more governance to the system. Some of you men, you're governable because you have children with women who are governable. You may want to run off the plantation, but she wants to stay. You may say, I want to be free. And she says, no, I don't. And now you're stuck. How many can't make it? I can't move, brother, because I would love to get out of the city, but I can't move because of my children. Because I have children. You've lost your ability to be free by who you chose to have children with. And yet you still got men running around and slinging semen everywhere they go. This is an issue. This is why Yah's ways are so perfect. If you just followed them, his order is so perfect. You would see that he's telling you in his book, in the Bible, he's telling you, do not allow yourself to be governed. Look at his law. Look at how Israel lived. He's telling you, you don't need to be governed by anything but me. I would rather obey Yah than man. Stop trying to appease your flesh by selling yourself out so that you can be governed by a system. Ask yourself, are you obeying Yah in his book? And if so, come out. Because it's falling apart. Look around. It's falling apart right in front of your face. And it's so funny that the governance of this society they literally control the actions and behavior of people. They know how to get you to move. They know how to get you to buy. They know how to get you to, it's like we just had, the world just had its Christmas. They control, people's finances. They created a holiday that's based on paganism, and everyone went out and shopped and got in debt, more in debt. Control. Bible says the rich ruleth over the poor, and a borrower is a servant to the lender. Control. Governance. And you're being controlled. Many are being controlled, and they don't even know that most of the decisions that they make, most of what they live, most of what they believe, most of what they think, most of what they do is based on governance, control that somebody else has over you. Just something I want to present to our mind as we move into the new Roman year 2024, and as things are going to continue to get worse and worse and worse until you find yourself stuck on the bottom of the ship and you have no way of ever getting to the top and getting on a life raft until that ark door is shut. It's something I hope you can think about. I hope it pricks your heart and it causes you to really evaluate the decisions and the moves that you are making. Bless you. Shalom.